Hey, soul survivors, I had a viewer topic request about the narcissist. Can they be a narcissist to only one person? So if you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, you know how traumatic it can be, how frustrating, the way that they communicate, all those kind of things. But they take a lot of things out on the person that's closest to them. So if you were with them, you are seeing firsthand how they treated you. And you see that they treat other people with respect, with kindness, doing things. And they take out their frustrations because they become accustomed to the fact that they're being tolerated. Even if you're crying, things like that, you're still forgiving them. And in doing so, when you set up boundaries, they break those boundaries. So they continue doing what they're doing. And sometimes they do get a rush off of us crying. It gives them power. And are they only abusive to one person? So we see the abuse that's happened to us, and they can be respectful to a lot of different people, but the chances of them being narcissistic to only one person is kind of slim to none. But we don't always see it, because they could, let's say, go to the bank teller and the bank teller didn't give them their way, and either they'll tell the bank teller that they're a stupid idiot, which is abusive to do to somebody, but just because you didn't get your way. Or they could talk behind that person's back, kind of changing the way somebody would look at how that bank teller is. Is that a good person, bad person? And all the bank teller did was do their job. So either they're going to be bashed, or they're going to be, called different names. So we don't always see it. So if you're in the bank, you might not see what they do, or you might just not realize that, calling people names is hurtful to somebody. And, especially over what it is. And it's just the narcissist not getting their way. Or, at work, they seem fantastic, but we don't know, are they sneaking somebody else's food that has a label, don't eat some of my chips, and they're kind of sneaking because we don't see that happening. Are they breaking boundaries? Somebody wants their own food or doesn't want somebody's germs touching the chips inside, but the narcissist is going to do what they want to do. So if they can get away with it, if there are no people observing, sometimes it's underhanded. They could do certain things to sabotage somebody's either relationship or occupational status, that they do a lot of things underhandedly, and we don't always see what's going on. So we feel that we're the only one targeted, and we are targeted harder because we're closer. And without empathy or low empathy, they're not going to care about other people. Do you see them laughing when somebody fell off a bike or somebody got in a car accident? Are they laughing at that? Or if somebody hurts an animal, are they laughing at that? And that's narcissistic. That's not showing compassion for animals or for people. So depends on the action that you're looking for to validate whether they're narcissistic or not. So there's a difference between narcissistic and somebody with a narcissistic personality disorder. So they have that disorder, it will probably be more prevalent. But you have your covert and your overt. The overt are the where you can completely see it. Either they're going around calling everybody names, and they're throwing fits, and they're screaming, punching things. And then you have your covert, which will either play the victim, the crybaby, poor me, everybody's against me, and they just need attention in some way. And when you're in that relationship, it feels like you're the only one being targeted. And it feels like that's all we see. Because after the abuse starts happening, we're going to start focusing on ourselves because we're hurt so much. And sometimes we might miss what the narcissist is doing, or other times You know, we see how great they can be to other people, but we're not with them every second of the day. We're not in their thoughts. So even if they're maintaining, there's they're still going to have those narcissistic thoughts, like I wish they'd shut up, or really crazy thoughts. And if they don't care, they don't care. And you know, are they doing anything illegal? You know, are they pushing their limits? Because they love to push limits. They have lower impulse control. A lot of them turn to drugs or alcohol or cheating. You know, look at their past. What was their past like? And sometimes we don't know exactly what went on because they do lie so much. So if you're like, they were faithful to everybody before me, that's their story. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Or, you know, they never cancel plans with anybody. But if you were like a previous partner, were they canceling on them? If you're gone, are they going to cancel on the next relationship? Are they going to take that person for granted? So try not to take what happened personally, because that's the way the narcissist is. They need a victim, in a sense, to survive, to raise their ego. And, you know, it's like, I want you to think about this. When I was in lifeguard school, whatever you call it, you have a drowning victim, and they tell you a lot of times that drowning victim will try to climb up you, and they'll kind of take you down, and it can cause you to drown. You are there to save them. That's your job. You're the lifeguard. But they are in such panic mode that they are pulling you under, climbing up on top of you because they need to breathe. And they don't have a comfort in just relaxing because they're too scared that they're going to drown. It's a normal reaction, what the drowning victim is doing. And, you know, sometimes we have to plan as a lifeguard how to handle that situation. They even tell you in those certain situations, knock them out. But can't really do that with a narcissist. You can leave, and they only tell you to knock them out if it's like life or death. But the narcissist is almost like that drowning victim. So they have damage to their brain due to their upbringing, and they're in survival mode, just like the drowning victim is in survival mode. So they will take whatever person necessary to climb above. Who are they going to use to climb above and get to the status, or get to the popularity, or to get to the financial status? They need a person, just like a lifeguard. Doesn't matter if, you know, a man or a woman, or young or old, as long as it can get the job done. That's the job of the lifeguard. Doesn't matter who does it. They're supposed to save the person. So we're just a lifeguard. And the narcissist won't relax. They take us down, and they overpower us. So even the tips and techniques aren't working. And it's a no-win situation with the narcissist. They don't listen to reason. Just like if you were talking to the drowning victim, where you're like, sweetheart, it's okay. Just relax. It's okay. I'm here for you. Like, they're in panic mode. And the narcissist, in a sense, is in a panic mode to hide any insecurities. They will not let those surface. So they won't be honest. That's why they have that mask on. And anytime you kind of like peek under that mask and see, hey, we're kind of being a jerk, they don't want to be looked at as imperfect or somebody who's flawed. So they go into survival mode, and they will attack you. So that drowning victim attacks the lifeguard. They're honed in on one person. But if it was a certain situation, if you can kind of picture this, you have a drowning victim, the lifeguard comes and the drowning victim's trying to climb up and the lifeguard is like, whoa, kind of swims away. And another one comes, it's going to attack the next lifeguard. That one goes away. And it's just kind of like a cycle that goes on to where it doesn't matter who's in front of them. When the time happens and they need that survival mode, that protection, that they are going to lash out or take that person down. So if you start putting up boundaries, they're going to start deflecting or changing that energy and putting it onto someone else. If it's not working with you, if you're like, look, you know, I can't deal with this. I don't want to talk. I'm going to talk to you next week, and you take off for a week. Most likely the narcissist is going to throw little fits, whether it's, you know, trying to use people and get the poor pity me thing and just use people. It's all about their own needs. So let's say they call a friend, you leave for that week, and you know, they call a friend, that friend's parent just died. They can either utilize something like, oh, well, you probably need somebody to come over and hang with you. You're probably sad. So they use that as an in. But if they are in that home, they might talk to their friend for a little bit, but then it's all going to be about the narcissist. And that's narcissistic, where you're not caring about what really happened to somebody else. So there are different extremes, you know. Hopefully you're not in a physically abusive relationship. Some narcissists get physical, some don't. But who's stronger? You know, are they going to punch Dwayne Johnson, the Rock, in the face? Or are they going to, you know, Shirley Temple or somebody? Who are they going to punch in the face if they get frustrated? So you have little physical dynamics too, constraints, and, you know, are they can walk that tight line. You know, am I going to get fired from my job? I need my money, but, you know, do I lash out at my boss? But when you're in like a love relationship or a parent-child relationship, that there are like control dynamics that go on in that kind of relationship, or certain expectations. So the narcissist will hold you to your expectations, but they won't uphold their own. And the narcissist will always be narcissistic. And they will abuse those closest to them the most and the most often, because they become so accustomed and grandiose about it that this person's never going to leave me. And then if you do, it's like a big hissy fit throw, or just a complete discard, like screw you then. And most of the time it's more than one person. If somebody has the actual diagnosis of NPD, the 5 out of 9 traits, if not more, it's more likely more than one person. If somebody's just narcissistic, they may target you more, but there's always victims out there for the narcissist. We just don't always see it. Hope that was helpful. Topic requests are welcome, so our one-on-ones are available, and I'll see you soon.